I was standing alone. The entire class was filled with laughter and chatter, but I stood in the midst of it, quiet and alone. It was strange seeing the whole world pass by in front of me with such vibrancy. Well, I just stood there. On the plus side, I wasn't engaged in any of the drama that might have arisen, like scribbling on someone's paper for revenge or kicking someone too hard. It was kind of nice just standing back and watching things pass by and life go on. I had long before convinced myself that I preferred being alone. I often said to myself in encouragement, "Well, yeah, I want to be alone. There's no one I like better than me, so I ought to spend some time by myself." But there was a certain bitterness to that, coupled with being alone, made me feel so sad. There was a difference between being alone and lonely. Just didn't realize it at that moment. And even after that moment, my father, my mother, there was no one to turn to. I was so lonely. That's when I decided on it, right then. I was going to see my grandfather. I didn't care if my father wouldn't take me. I was going to walk my way over there and see what he had to say about it. I had never seen him before that. What better time to see him then? No one else was going to help me with what I was feeling. I might as well have turned to him. So after school I decided to walk there. I had no idea how to get there. I was armed with only a scrap of paper with the address scribbled on it. As a 7-year-old, I obviously had great ideas. I soon became lost, and like I always did when I was lost, I just stood there on the sidewalk, back pressed against the wall, eyes looking as strangers passed by. Unlike always, people continued to pass by, and life continued to go on. I was sadder than ever. I had ended up in the situation I was originally in. Nothing had changed. I felt that I was silly for even thinking that I could change things with my own hands. That was, until a voice brought me back to reality.
Hun, is that you?
I looked up and saw an unfamiliar face, but it was obvious that whoever was talking to me knew who I was. And from that moment, things began to change. Life began moving its rusty joints and realized that things were moving along. Suddenly, I had become part of the crowd that moved like a blur past me. I was no longer someone who stood still and watched others hurry past them. Life had changed. I had changed. Because that very person who found me that day was my grandfather. I had the opportunity to help them. Though, would I? I wanted to, but I wasn't sure if it was the best idea. After all, 5 demons, and my house wasn't exactly the living arrangement that I had imagined when I first moved in. There was a matter of making sure no one found out about their powers. Thinking about them as lab rats made my stomach queasy. And even if they passed for humans, how would I explain having guys living in my house? Imagine if my friends came over. They would practically think I was part of some harem or something. I mean, that's ridiculous. Oh God, imagine if my parents came over. I think my mom would faint. Who knows what my dad would do? He would probably have them arrested on the spot. This was actually hard. Maybe I should have written down a pros and cons list before making this decision.
Don't worry too much about it. You have plenty of time to decide. Besides, you should do what makes you happy as well.
It was strange that I happened to remember what my grandfather said to me when I was little, but it kind of made sense. They weren't in the same exact situation that I was in before, but I did want to help them out. I think it would ease my conscience, and also make me a bit happy to give them help, as weird as that sounded. Clenching my hands into fists, I strengthened my resolve to speak up.
Oh, well, you could.
What was that, lovely lady?
We ain't about that life, Eric.
This is,
Spit it out already.
Well, you could stay here if you'd like.
As soon as I finished that sentence, the room became still. I'm not sure what went through their heads from my words. The silence that was in the air cut like a knife until I spoke up once more.
Well, it seemed like you all needed a place to stay, and, well, I did just move into a giant house, so it seemed to kind of make sense.
It was still quiet in the room. I decided to keep talking.
If you would like to stay here, though, there are 2 things that I need all of you to follow.
Yes?
First of all, you can't use your powers, or deliberately do something that might harm me or any of my guests that come over. Well, save that for enemies, but you get the drift.
That sounds reasonable.
Second, you have to help me with errands around the house. This place is kind of big, so yeah.
That is a generous offer, miss. Are you sure that would be okay? We don't wish to burden you any more than we already have.
It's alright, really. I mean, I've just started living here myself, so I would appreciate some help around the house.
A wonderful idea. We'll live here and train while helping you with the house. Servants for the lovely princess.
Oh, look at his face. He's like, I'm not having any of this.
What? Are you serious?
Shh, be quiet, Sam. I haven't slept in a bed for days.
They all seemed to like the idea, well, except Sam, but hey, I didn't really hate the idea either, even if they were incubi. It would be interesting having 5 guys help me with taking care of the house, given they follow the rules that I just laid down.
Grr, fine, but we're not staying here forever. Only until we can beat up that group of punks.
I think that is a reasonable time limit for our stay.
Yes, this is awesome.
Also beautiful. If you need a bedfellow.
Nope, we don't, Eric.
No. I told you, Eric, I am not about that life.
Eric, knock it off.
I was happy that they agreed. Maybe it was because I wasn't going to be lonely for a while. Maybe it was because they all needed help, and my want to help people was fulfilled. I would never be sure.
So what are we waiting for? Let's celebrate and dig in.
Finally, I'm starving.
Instantly, Matthew and Matt began to stuff themselves with food on the table. I noticed James' eye twitching in irritation, so I stifled my incoming laugh.
Really, you two? You're both acting like pigs.
Oh, let them have a little freedom, James. It's not like we've eaten recently either. I'm sure they've been starving.
Still, that's no excuse for stuffing their faces like backyard swine.
I almost couldn't hold it in. So then, but I did, so I didn't. Wait, no, are we choosing if we laugh or not? I don't know. He would appreciate if we didn't laugh, right? But I did, so then, I guess so then is not laughing. I don't know who that was a heart towards, but, you know, we'll figure it out in the end. I looked back at Damien, who had been silent the whole time. He was leaning against the far wall, moving his lips almost silently to the empty space beside him. Out of curiosity, I looked the same way, though I found nothing there.
It's nothing.
Uh-huh.
I looked back to see Damien looking at me with his normal blank face. I couldn't help but stare back, feeling the red tint of embarrassment spreading across my face. As I started, Damien gave a small smile, closed his eyes, returning to his thoughts. Eventually, we all ate dinner. It was strange, eating with just guys, but they were enjoyable to be around. They made me feel like part of the family as we ate together. However, our peace was soon disturbed. Oh yeah, my ringtone. So beautiful.
It's my mom. Excuse me. My ringtone's fantastic, right? Well, hello.
Hey, honey, how are you? I'm sorry I didn't get to see you off.
Oh, hi, Mom. Everything's fine. I'm actually eating dinner right now.
Oh, good, good. So there was food there. Well, your father wanted me to call and talk to you about having a house party tomorrow night to celebrate the new house and all.
Uh-oh.
Well, a house party tomorrow night? So soon?
Your father insists. You know how he is with events.
I knew exactly what she meant. He didn't like long, relaxing periods between important events. It was slightly messed up. I was expected to act on a drop of a dime, from moving immediately the day after a funeral to my grandfather's house to organizing a party.
Oh, I know. Well, since I don't exactly have you two here to help me arrange it, I'm going to need some time to prepare things.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, Suzu and Naomi can help. I have work, and you know how your father is.
Well, I know. I can do it by myself. He won't help.
I'm sure it'll be amazing, honey. I have faith in you.
Well, thanks, Mom.
All right, I gotta go. I love you, sweetie.
Well, I love you too, Mom.
Mom is so nice.
Well, great. Now, how am I going to do this?
Is something wrong?
She has to organize a house party for her parents.
Well, how did you... Oh, yeah, mind reading. Sorry. But yeah, I gotta do it soon. My parents will be really disappointed. I'll have to stay up and organize everything tonight.
Hey, why don't we help you? That's what we're here for, right?
I don't see why not.
I can name a few reasons why we shouldn't.
You know what? You can move.
Sam?
Back off.
We'll take care of everything, miss. Just leave everything to us.
That was surprising. I didn't think boys would offer to help right off the bat. I couldn't help but smile. I was actually rather thankful now that I had let them stay. Now I didn't have to do everything alone. As I kept thinking about it, I couldn't help but yawn.
Feeling a little tired over there, princess?
Well, I mean, yeah. It's been a long day. At least tomorrow's the weekend, so I can sleep in.
And then it hit me.
Wait, where are all of you going to sleep?
We found some guest rooms on the opposite end of the house from the master bedroom. I'm sure those will do just fine.
Oh, got it. Alright then. I'm headed to my room to study and sleep. I guess I'll see you all tomorrow.
Have a good night.
Well, I will. You too.
With that, I left the dining room and went to my room.
Eric, no.
What? I wasn't going to do anything.
You were totally gonna do something.
Yes, he was.
Oh man. I like Damien and this guy right here. These two. Perfect. As soon as I got into my room, a wave of exhaustion hit me.
Why am I so tired all of a sudden? I just woke up from a nap.
I dragged myself to my bed and hurled one of my bags. I opened it and grabbed one of my economic books, knowing that no matter how tired I was, I had to study at least a page or two before sleeping at last. The words on the page scrambled in my mind as I read through them, but after 2 or 3 tries, I managed to understand what the page was about.
Equations. Ugh.
Finally, I decided to change into my pajamas and head to bed. Today has been a long day, and I need some rest.
Hopefully tomorrow will be better. 3 days of surprises in a row would kill me.
With that thought in my mind, I drifted off to sleep, embracing the darkness of slumber.
You fucking pretty boys think you're all that, huh? Well, save that to the end of my pistol.
What is going on?
I couldn't move my body. I felt like I was tied up. I couldn't see anything beyond the darkness that surrounded me, yet I could hear the sound of a heated argument coming at me from all directions.
One move and she gets it!
Let her go!
Matthew?
Come on, chicken shit. Fight us like a real man.
Like you scare me, Sam! Come on! Take one step, I dare ya.
Why can I not see?
Stay away from her, Malix!
That sounds like an evil name.
And what are you gonna do, nerd boy?
Really? That's you're like, I have a gun. Let me sling Nerd Boy around. Suddenly I felt myself pulled by one side, and arms wrapped around my body protectively.
I've got you. Don't worry.
Uh-huh, Eric?
As I was held in a tight embrace, I felt the world around me once again settle into a low, peaceful hum. The hostility of the dream before it had faded into black, as the arms around me rocked me comfortably. Slowly, though, my eyes fluttered open. I looked up to see a person holding me.
Damien?
I stared into Damien's eyes. His face was painted with worry and concern. And I knew he must have seen my dream. Why did I dream of Eric holding me, though?
You can't control your dreams.
Well, I guess you're right.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine, but thank you. What time is it?
It's 9 a.m. James and I were making breakfast when well...
Creeped up in here.
You can't control your mind reading?
No, not yet at least. I hope to learn eventually, though.
Is everything alright?
Yeah, I'm alright.
That's good. I'm assuming you had a nightmare.
Yes, I'm sorry for disturbing both of you.
You didn't disturb us, miss. Besides, we'd rather make sure you're okay before anything.
Oh, thank you.
Now, why don't you come downstairs with us and have some breakfast? I'm sure some nice food will take your mind off of what you dreamt of.
It was embarrassing to be the damsel in distress once again, but I felt rather happy that James and Damien were concerned about me. Despite only knowing me for a short time, I wasn't sure if it was just courtesy or if they were genuinely concerned. I couldn't exactly read their minds.
Alright.
The two boys led me back into the dining room, where the smell of bacon and eggs danced in the air. The smell wafted from the kitchen and made its way into the room, making my stomach growl in need.
Well, breakfast smells so good.
We should be done with breakfast soon. If you want to sit down at the table, you can.
I nodded before sitting down. As I sat down, however, my mind drifted back to the dream I had had. The feeling of hostility around me made my body shudder instinctively, even though I knew it wasn't real. However, as I closed my eyes, I felt a hand place itself on the top of my head, breaking me of my thoughts.
Well, huh?
Morning. You alright?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Sam, the owner of the hand on my head, raised his eyebrow at me before rustling my hair, moving away to sit down at the table. Then he barked towards the kitchen, where James was working.
Hey! Is the food done yet? I'm starving!
There's no need to yell, Sam!
Aren't you yelling?
You're yelling too!
Why? Have I watched that much anime? Have I? I think so. I have an issue.
Don't argue with me!
From behind me, Eric appeared and sat beside me, rubbing his temples in obvious annoyance.
Can we not yell this early in the morning? It's not like we're in the castle.
Castle?
For some reason, the word castle, I couldn't help but yell in surprise. These guys had a castle? Sam looked at me and smirked at my reaction.
Yeah, we have a castle back home. Our dining room's 10 times bigger than this room.
And wouldn't it be logical to not yell?
Whatever.
Soon, James and Damien appeared, hands full of plates that carried bacon, eggs, toast, and waffles. They placed the plates down by each seat before seating themselves. These guys know what's up. They know the waffles are overpowered.
My favorite.
Finally.
Well, thank you for the breakfast. It looks amazing.
It's our pleasure.
All of a sudden, my phone began ringing, ushering me to pull it from my pocket. God, that fucking ringtone.
Well, hello.
Hey, good morning. Guess who's at your door right now?
Right on cue, there was a knock at the lobby door. My heart stopped. Suzu and Naomi were here.
I'll get it.
My heart quickly began to pound out of my chest. Matthew was in the lobby, and he'd get to the door first. I instantly jumped out of my chair and rushed out of the dining room. As I passed through the archway between the dining room and the lobby, I saw Matthew reach his hand for the brass door handle, causing the world to go in slow motion.
Oh, Matthew, don't!
Before my words could reach his ears, Matthew had opened the door to reveal the surprised faces of Naomi and Suzu. The world around me stopped as Suzu and Naomi kept their eyes on Matthew, who merely stared back in fear and embarrassment. I could feel the air go from warm to freezing in a matter of seconds.
Hi?
I couldn't believe what was happening. How was I going to explain this? This week has already been so bad. To make matters worse, I was frozen in place. Please, for God's sake, someone do something other than just stand there. Nope.
Who are you?
Suzu, let me explain.
What's going on here?
Who's at the door, Matthew? Oh.
Oh, it's so bad. It just keeps getting worse. Soon the other incubi appeared in the lobby with us. The situation was not getting pretty. I had to think fast. They're visitors. They're in your head. They're my brothers. Oh God. Oh man. I don't know what we should choose. They're visitors. They're in your head. Y'all are just, you're going mentally insane. It's fine. It's totally cool. They're visitors. Let's go with this.
Then why did one of them open the door? Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
It was no use. There was no time to lie to them. I felt helpless. I felt a hand on my shoulder and felt the tension in my body almost fade away. I turned my head to see James smile at me before stepping in front of me.
We must apologize, ladies. We know the situation must be confusing for everyone. Let's take this to the dining room and we'll explain everything.
I stared at James wide-eyed. Was he going to tell them? Was he going to tell them who they were? Everything seemed surreal. Before I knew it, I was led into the dining room along with Suzu and Naomi and sat across from their confused gazes. As Naomi and Suzu sat down, Eric and Matthew placed their untouched plates of food in front of them, surprising their guests.
Whoa, this looks amazing. Thank you.
Our pleasure, ladies. We hope you enjoy your meals.
Make sure you dig in.
I looked at Naomi and Suzu as they began to eat, visibly enjoying every bite they placed in their mouth. Hopefully the food would ease their minds, for whatever reason James wanted to reveal. As Naomi and Suzu ate their impromptu meals, James and the other boys stood behind my chair, making me grow more red in the face.
So, Anderson, are you gonna tell us what's going on?
Well, you see,
Gently, James placed his hand on my shoulder again, signaling me to just eat my food. As I began to eat, he spoke to Naomi and Suzu.
We are Miss Anderson's house servants. We were hired by her late grandfather to help around the mansion, but since he has passed, we now assist Miss Anderson with living on her own.
That makes sense. It's such a huge house.
A huge house for a wonderful princess such as Miss Anderson deserves the greatest of servants to care for it.
But why are you all dressed so casually and stuff? Aren't servants supposed to have uniforms or whatever?
Well, Miss Anderson allows us to get comfy while we work, so she lets us wear casual clothes.
Yeah, something like that.
We're sorry if we made this situation awkward earlier.
We're very sure that Miss Anderson is also still getting used to having us as her servants. It would be very hard to explain after just a day.
I guess.
So, if I may ask, what brings you two ladies here?
Well, we wanted to see how our friend was doing. Since it's the weekend and all, usually we hang out and just chill.
Yeah, like going to the arcade and stuff.
Or the Pink Lady Cafe.
There's an arcade?
That makes a lot of sense, ladies. Well, we don't wish to disturb you any further than we have, so we'll take our leave and start preparing the house.
Huh? Preparing for what?
We gotta prep the house for some sort of housewarming party thing.
Our princess's parents requested a housewarming party to be held here soon.
and by soon, they mean tonight.
Oh, well, I guess we can help out or something. Right, Naomi?
I thought you wanted to go to the arcade.
This housewarming thing is more important.
No need. We can handle it. If you'd like to, miss, you can go out with your friends while we handle things here.
Seriously?
Sam, not now.
Well,
I wanted to help out, but at the same time, I wanted to go out with my friends. James gave me a look of understanding, letting me know that if I left, everything would be okay. I had a decision to make. Oh no! I want to hook up with James, right? That's who we're going for? But if you can touch ladies' butts, clearly Suzu is the obvious choice. I guess, you know what, we'll stay and help around the house. We'll stay. But friends are important, and they did come all this way. Okay.
Are you sure?
well, I'm sure. I trust these guys to be able to work everything out.
Thank you for trusting us, miss.
We'll have everything done for you by the time you return home.
All right, we'll wait here while you go get your things.
I was strangely relieved to know that everything was going to be okay while I was gone from the house. I trusted these guys enough to do everything they could for the house party, so my mind focused itself on hanging out with my friends.